The worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at doorsplusllc.com or give them a call at 402-590-5800.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks. Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Barbecue. It's hard to choose a favorite at Hog Wild, but I'd have to say it's their award-winning ribs. Hog Wild buys their meat from those who share their high-quality standards, then hand rubs each slab with their famous seasoning blend and slow smokes them over hickory each and every day for flavor and tenderness you're gonna keep coming back for. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
If you're a veteran, our nation has created a wide range of benefits to thank you for your service, but it can be difficult to navigate the process of determining eligibility, filing claims, appealing decisions, and securing the benefits you've earned. Speak to your county veteran service officer or the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs State Service Office to see what's available to you and your family. These services are 100% free, so visit veterans.nebraska.gov today. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Chancellor Brewington, powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
That's right. Welcome into What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington here on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm Jake Bachman in studio alongside your host of the show, Chancellor Brewington. Chancellor, how's it going today?
It's going great. It's going great. Top of the hour, we're going to take it to about 2 p.m., but then we'll throw it to On the Block. But, man, we got some stuff to talk about. Bach. First of all, how you doing, Bach? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. I can't complain. It's good in this profession when there's news. Sometimes it's not always great for the program. But feels like the volleyball program, and I know we'll talk about a little bit about that, is in good hands, so we don't have to worry too much.
Yeah, that hit me. I think it was like maybe 10 minutes after our show or 20 minutes after our show yesterday. So John Cook retires, I believe 25 years, same as Tom Osborne.
Yeah.
So that's that probably hits home for people who have been loyal or consistent fans throughout the year in the volleyball program. I mean, I'm 25 years old, so for my whole life he's been the Nebraska volleyball coach, and it's pretty crazy. I'm sure there'll be some more tribute videos coming out as the week develops and throughout the weekend and maybe just throughout this next month too, as volleyball starts to pick up again. But just like all the history and things he's accomplished here, not just in volleyball, but you have to acknowledge that just as sports and honestly just as profession too, the things he's been able to accomplish is it's pretty amazing, and the admiration and the respect that the girls have for him, but also just the people around the program. And I mean, I remember he used to come and talk to us the football team, and just the ideals that he has, and or the way he sees leadership and the way he sees competitive sports. I mean, I believe he was going to be, or he was a football coach, or he was going to be a football coach. I believe he said that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there was I mean, there was a bunch of wisdom that he used to share with us. Usually you would do the pre-camp stuff. So you'd have, 30 days of people coming in. You have, Title IX come in and compliance. And then, you get some guest speakers, and he was one of them for the past couple of years. And he was, you could tell, like, I don't know what it is, but there's some coaches that you just get around and you're like, there's something different. It's whether the young kids talk about aura and stuff like that, but I think that's a real thing sometimes. And I think, especially hearing a person talk, and you can sense that they care about the individual or the person they're coaching, but they also care about winning, and they respect winning. And there's a respect for winning, because there's a certain way to win, and it seems like he's figured it out in the volleyball world. And what a tough person to follow, of course, but I think he's laid a foundation that someone, I think there's a system in place, and yeah, it's pretty beautiful. I have nothing but respect, and I guess I don't fully understand volleyball that much. I grew up, sisters, and the occasional girlfriend. What do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like I didn't watch it that much. But when you come to Nebraska, you almost have to, right? Because that's how much attention it demands for a good reason. So shout out to him, and I'm sure we'll probably continue to talk about it, throughout the next couple of days, because this is big news.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I mean, and talk about a guy that had to follow a legend himself, in Terry Pettit, and then comes in and wins. You talk about establishing your identity as a program, and that's kind of what I was thinking about as you were saying. It's like you could tell he's a winner. Is that you just come in and establish? They go undefeated and win a national championship his first year. Which going undefeated is ridiculous in volleyball. Obviously, you have a lot of matches there. So it's just it's been a pleasure to watch, but also kind of thinking about your age, like you said. There's certain just things about, kind of getting to that age, to be honest with you, is, and I kind of experienced it too, is there's certain coaches, or, you kind of feel that a little bit earlier, maybe when you're 18, 19, with players that have been on the same team since you're born, or at least since you started watching sports. And for Nebraska volleyball fans, and what a fan base that it has grown to be, this is going to be a change, because all they know and is John Cook. And of course, there was a world before 2000. Like I said, Terry Pettit it was really great, and won some national championships here too. But it's just that mainstay, and we talk about that too in coaching. You talk about coaching hot seats, or at least even among even coaching staffs. I mean, people have complained about Nebraska football just kind of continuing to go through different coaches, but even coaching staffs having continuity and how much that can help. But you just think about, that's why I thought, just coming in and going undefeated and winning a title, and how could you better start? This is what Nebraska volleyball is going to be to me. But the important thing is just to never lose it. I mean, we've seen guys at the top, and you have your 3 or 4 year runs in whatever sport it may be, but at some point it's tough to keep winning. We're seeing that with Dan Hurley right now at UConn. They're barely hanging on in the top 25, the best program they've had over the last couple of years in college basketball, struggling a little bit. It's tough to stay at the top. So, whatever magic ingredient they had there, it hopefully is going to stay. And Danny Busboom Kelly has proven, over there at Louisville, as one of the top coaches in college volleyball as it is to begin with. So to bring her back over, you think that, things are going to transition very well.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay. Staying on college coaches, transitioning over to football now. On3, they come out with lists every day, and we're big on lists on this show.
Yes.
We love lists. They're the top 10 college football coaches. Okay. Can you guess if you've seen this? I mean, you can cheat if you want, but who's at the top, do you think?
Kirby Smart's got to be the top for a couple national titles.
Yeah, and so I get it. And number 2 is big for me, Ryan Day. And then you got Steve Sarkisian, I believe, or Sarkisian.
Yep.
Kalen DeBoer, Dan Lanning, Marcus Freeman, Dabo Sweeney, which that's interesting. Number 7 right there, Dabo Sweeney, him still being in there. You know, I think you have to pay him his dues, pay him his respects, of course. Brian Kelly. Now that one's interesting. And then you got James Franklin at 9. And then what's Tennessee's last name?
Josh Heupel.
Josh Heupel. I like Ryan Day at 2. I think we've been what some people say playing with his name a little bit. I think this offseason, this past offseason and this beginning of the season, I think we were playing with Ryan Day's name a little bit. And I feel like I sensed something in the media day when we were there. The ticket went there in where was it? Indiana. And so we got to see all the college coaches, and it was a big deal because, you know, the merger of, you know, Pac-12 coming in. You got to see Oregon, Washington, USC, saw all the coaches all, you know, dressed to the nines, you know, and all this, you know, everyone wearing their suits. And Ryan Day, probably just presence-wise, it just felt different. It was like, oh, this dude's like, it just felt different. And so if you were to go, you know, kind of off of like what you felt there, for me personally, I said like, man, Ohio State's gonna have a really good year, right? And so, it made sense. It makes sense. It makes sense.
Well, I'm interested. I'm still, you know, maybe an old football head type, right? So I wonder how this list would look if you had a 14 playoff, if you had a, you know, BCS back in the day, because I think Dan Lanning would have been up there, right? Because then they would have played for a national title, or at least been in the Final Four with an undefeated season. Remember, the only team to lose one game in college football this past year happened to be in the playoffs. But in my mind,
why is he at 5?
Yeah, that's pretty low to me.
Why is he at 5?
And I've also argued over the years that I don't think Dan Lanning is in higher regard than he should be. But now that he's had an undefeated season in the Big Ten, dealing with, you know, switching conferences, that does seem a little bit interesting. Because if you just did it before the playoff, then I think you'd have a different opinion. Certainly with Ryan Day coming off a Michigan loss. So I don't know. I mean, I think Ohio State's wildly talented. I think they had the best roster in football. Maybe you should win, right? If you have the best roster in football. I don't know if they've lived up to that or met that expectation all year long. So I would say Ryan Day's a little high for me, and still has some proving to do. But that's the way, again, that's the way these things can shape. A championship can cover up a lot of problems that you've had. So we'll see moving forward what that looks like. But it's just in that matchup, I know that Ohio State blew out Oregon, quote unquote, when it mattered, right, in the playoffs. But they were 1-1 against each other. And Dan Lanning specifically made a interesting coaching decision that led directly to winning that first game. So I would still, if it were up to me, you just throw me a program instead of hire Dan Lanning or hire Ryan Day, I would hire Dan Lanning.
Really?
Yeah.
Woo! I like it, man. It was a Thursday.
Right.
About 120. I like that. Okay, where does Kurt Signetti sit in this? You know, and where does what's ASU's head coach name? What's his face?
Kenny Dillingham.
Kenny Dillingham. Where's he sit? I mean, I guess the new coaches list, the up and coming surprise you. I would say, does Dan Lanning qualify for that?
I think he's kind of middle ground, right? Where he's kind of he's done it a few years now, so he got a pretty good idea that he's not just a flash in the pan. He's 3 years now at Oregon, 35-6. It's pretty darn good.
Pretty darn good.
But yeah, so that's why I think he probably gets the benefit of the doubt now. Where Kurt Signetti, yes, he's been doing it a lot longer as a head coach, but at this level, you know, you need some kind of proof there. Dillingham's somewhat the same. I mean, he's only been 2 years in at Arizona State. Very young, very exciting to see where he moves forward. But it is interesting because these lists, like you said, Dabo Sweeney, he's lost some of the shine that was on his name a few years ago. Now they did still make the playoffs, still won the ACC this past year. So you got to give him credit for that. But like a Brian Kelly doesn't seem to be where he was a few years ago. You know, how quickly do some of these up and coming names replace names that we know can coach, but maybe are past their prime or don't have their best teams put together over the last several years.
Yeah, and right after Oregon is Marcus Freeman, and that's new coach at Notre Dame. So I would say he would probably be the leaderboard of the new coaches at a new spot. And I think with the portal, it's gonna be a lot. If you take the right approach, it's gonna be a lot easier to win right away. I think Cignetti shows that. I think Freeman shows that. But if you go in and get the right guys, and I think it's really kind of predicated on a quarterback. You go get Riley Leonard. I mean, the way he was performing at Duke in 2023, I mean, when he goes, the Clemson comes to Duke and he goes and beats them earlier in the year, you're like, oh, this dude's a special guy, right? So I think if you get a good quarterback, you surround him with good talent, decent enough talent, get guys who can come and make an impact. I think you can flip cultures in schools and rosters, and go from a 3-9 to a 9-3 in 1 year. It's gonna, and I think especially with the NIL, like this is just the new day and age where you can shift a program so fast. That's why now when I do the Nebraska list, when people say, "What do you think Nebraska gonna do next year?" I don't know. I do not know. They could easily go 10-2 and the city on fire, or they can go 4-8 again, or they can go 6-6, or they can go 5-7. Like you can flip, but you can flip it like that, and that's why I'm so optimistic. And obviously, it's my alma mater, and so I want them to win, of course. But when I look at the list, I look at kind of the common denominators across the board when winning programs and stuff like that. You kind of see like, man, these teams can flip like this if they get the right guys in there.
And you wonder how long. Of course, that's the hope that Matt Rule makes that turn this year 3 that we've all been looking forward to. But short of a national title, I don't know if he makes that list next year, right? I mean, there's kind of an established rule of amount that you've been able to do, and the new flavor of the month isn't necessarily on that rule on that list. But like I said, I think it is still adjusted based on the playoffs, right? Because Ryan Day's not in there, so it's interesting. I mean, I think you could, but you're going to need to put a few good seasons together to kind of rise up those ranks. And certainly that's not his biggest concern, right? It's more than anything, putting a few seasons together would be great for many other reasons. But it does make you kind of question where Nebraska's at. As always, when you look at a top 10 list and say, okay, Nebraska's not on there, why aren't they on there, and what do they need to do to get there? And a lot of these are the same answered with the same answer.
Yeah,
just need to win more.
Yeah. It's simple, of course. It sounds simple, and it sounds super easy. And I think the year 3 notion that's been going around since Rule stepped on campus, it's been year 3. This is when he wins. Take it easy. And from what I've heard, and I've talked about it with real fans, of course, and former players, whatever. But it was kind of the same philosophy with Frost a little bit, right? Later on in the year, and later on in the tenure, he'll flip it around, but you have to wait till his guys get there, or his guys leave, or whatever it is. And I'm not going to say there's a parallel between what's going on with that roster and or that team and what's going to go on with what Rule's going through. But I do believe that if the talk is around year 3 in the media and and all the other platforms, and then it seems like you kind of adopt it in the pressers, right? You kind of adopt like year 3 is year 3.
Oh, yeah.
So like now it's year 3, like, and so I would imagine there's this little bit. I'm not gonna say pressure. I mean, look at pressure however you want to look at it. Some people look at it as bad. Some people look at it as a privilege or a good or a blessing, whatever you want to look at it. But there is something there. There's something. It's like if I come and put a little pressure on your shoulder, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it, right? It's not going to hurt you,
Yeah.
It might throw you off balance a little bit some days. You might got to readjust it, but there's going to be something on you just a little bit, right? And so I think the players have to embody that too. not in a stress standpoint, but just say this is the year. This is the year. And I mean, find a way, of course, to delete, but like get all the information first from the last 2 years, but delete it. Like, okay, cool. All right, let's move forward. Right. And I think I mean, I could imagine that's a goal for the off season is to get better, take the information from last year, understand where we went wrong the second half, and just bust your new, what to become the best version of yourself every day. Cause I think that's where the money is. And if you focus on that, not the year 3, I think you have a better time in the off season. And it's not the buildup of something so what's the word? So big that you throw everything at it, right? And it's like, this is it, right? And I felt that as a team my last year, right? Before the transition from Mickey coming in, like in the offseason, I felt it like it was like, this has to be the year. This has to be the year. Instead, I feel like we could have just focused on becoming the best individuals, right? And as a collective, we would get better, right? If everyone gets better. So that's just my opinion.
Now, that's interesting because I was kind of thinking the same thing. We've seen teams that put a lot on the line,
right,
or feel like this is the time we have to come. Bill Callahan's 2017, Mike Riley's 2017 team. You could even say, like you just said, the Mickey year, which was a better job of adjusting and finding and kind of playing out that season. But some of those seasons, there was so much expectation that would be the year that as soon as it was apparent that wasn't the year, the bounce back ability was pretty rough, and it was, and the team kind of went south. So hopefully we don't see that either. I don't think we will. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. This is What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington. We'll be back on 93.7 The Ticket.
Shouldn't the landscape around your house reflect the architecture as well as the interior? Whether it's new construction or breathing life into an outdated landscape, let the teams at Tailored Landscapes, Tailored Lights, and Tailored Life combine as your local source for outdoor living. Schedule a meeting with one of our designers who listen during our consultations and combine your preferences, plus our experience to give you a timeless, sustainable, photo shoot-worthy landscape. Call us at 402-432-2572. Find us on any social media or at www.tailoredlandscapes.com, because when you find one company, you find the benefit of 3.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Sports Show! The 56th Annual Boat Sport and Travel Show is bigger and better than ever. January 31st to February 2nd at the Sand Hills Global Event Center in Lincoln. Don't miss it.
Sports Show. Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at doorsplusllc.com or give them a call at 402-590-5800.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
and electrical.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
If you're a veteran, our nation has created a wide range of benefits to thank you for your service, but it can be difficult to navigate the process of determining eligibility, filing claims, appealing decisions, and securing the benefits you've earned. Speak to your county veteran service officer or the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs State Service Office to see what's available to you and your family. These services are 100% free, so visit veterans.nebraska.gov today. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Allow me to get a bit sappy. For women, jewelry isn't just a gift. It's a timeless symbol of love and appreciation. You have to get this right. No fleeting trends or gadgets will make the impact. Every time she wears it, every time she gets a compliment, you win. Trust me, guys. You'll get your money worth. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see a chance of showers throughout the day. Otherwise, cloudy skies and an afternoon high near 50. Tonight, the chance of showers continues over that low around 32. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies returning with a light breeze and an afternoon high near 51. I'm meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
That's great. We're back here on What's Brewing on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm Jake Falkman inside the studios here at 93.7 The Ticket at 1040 O Street alongside the host of your show, Chancellor Brewington. Chancellor, what do we got brewing for segment number 2?
Man, some unfortunate news. I think it's unfortunate. Let me know in the text line what you think. Bach, I'm going to ask you what you think. No spring game. Or it's not going to look like a traditional spring game or whatever. I'm trying to decode what that interview
right.
I don't know what it meant. So maybe possibly bringing in all athletes. We're going to do like a freeze tag on the field or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
I
think they're throwing around ideas. So if you're throwing around, freeze tag.
Yeah. No, I'm joking, but it would be. I mean, that would be the craziest curveball of all time. Doing some type of event that includes all athletes. I'm not mad at it from an all-inclusive standpoint. I love getting athletes together because I know for certain. When you get to bigger programs, especially like Nebraska, especially, teams that, I came from FCS, so it's a lot different. FCS, you have the, football uses the same weight room as the volleyball girls and the volleyball, and so you're real tight with the athletic, departments, and there's less teams, right? You don't have a rifling club or a rifling team, and you don't have a bowling team at the smaller schools. You get to bigger schools, Nebraska. Not only are there more sports, but also you got their own facilities. So you got, the wrestling facility, you got basketball, you got volleyball, you got Pinnacle, was it Pinnacle One or Pinnacle Bank or whatever it's called, basketball.
Yeah.
So and you got soccer has its own baseball, and they're like, miles apart from each other, right? So it's not this thing where, traditionally at, maybe lower level schools or maybe I guess I'm not familiar on all schools how it works, but this is a pretty spread out campus. Like it's not especially Nebraska, it's not a traditional campus. Sometimes it's like intertwined within the Lincoln downtown. So
Yeah.
And I didn't know, I am be honest with you, I never went to class at UNL. Not saying I just didn't go to class. They were all online. I already
Okay,
graduated. Okay. So I don't need anyone in the text line saying Brew didn't go to class. I didn't go to class.
You didn't go on campus much though, huh?
At all. I never did.
Oh, never did.
Yeah.
Wow.
So when people are like, yeah, where the communication, I'm like, no, I don't know where it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So didn't have that experience. But what was I trying to get at? I was trying to get at that you don't see. So if you were to take the football team and you were to say, who name someone on each club, right? Or each sports team. I don't know if they could, right? And why is that? That's not the program's fault. It's just the nature of it. Guess where football is in their own, kingdom. They're in their own like whole village. Like they have their own ecosystem over there. Like they could live there for 4 years and they'll turn out all right, right? And they could go through a whole day without seeing, any other person, right? And so I think, the bringing everyone together is super important. So I acknowledge that and I understand that, and I think maybe that could help bringing awareness to maybe some other fall sports that, maybe a dedicated Husker football fan, which one thing I've learned about Husker fans is that it's not a football thing, it's a sports thing. And so maybe it's the allowing other sports teams to experience that engagement in that environment, because maybe you pack out Memorial for some type of all sports event. I don't know what that would look like, right? But I think now the flip side of the coin is that you are cutting rosters to 105. It's going to be a lot of walk-ons who we're probably counting on that game maybe a little bit for film purposes and also just for creating memories. So that's kind of, I'm not going to say out the window, but that red-white game has been a lot of walk-ons and a lot of people who don't really get to play. And, I have friends that, got picks in those games and, have them framed, have the ball framed in there, like those are important moments. So I would say that's the downside. And I'm sure, former players probably see it as like, what the heck? But I do understand I guess if you're looking at it from like getting everyone involved, I see the bigger picture, the fuller picture a little bit.
Yeah, it's tough. And Carricker was kind of going on about, how they could maybe like have a shortened game or something, like try to still have, hold something, understanding that with the numbers and there might be some troubles or worry about injuries and all that. But it's just, it's an opportunity, right? Any of these things, these things that are changing in college football or in our lives, traditions that we know, they're very sad and it sucks, quite honest, to just kind of move on from it. But it is an opportunity to shift that tradition into something else. And that's going to be the challenge, because that's kind of what they're talking about. They don't know as of now, whether it be 7-on-7, bringing on, like you said, some other teams to celebrate. But all of this, they're going to have to somehow package it in a way that's going to sell it to Husker fans, because yes, there's going to be the diehards that are in Lincoln that are going to go one way or the other. But there's a lot of people that make a lot of, trips. They make a whole weekend out of it.
Right. They come from West Coast, East Coast.
Yeah. And so is it going to be enough now to do that? Now, a lot of it too is if you're traveling, you come here to meet family or friends and stuff. So it's a whole combination of things, but they've got to have something entertaining or rewarding enough for a football fan to still be interested in this. And I think that's the challenge. And I'm surprised that they don't have it more narrowed down when you come out and say, we're not going to have a spring game in a traditional format, that you don't say, okay, here is what we're pivoting to, because I think it is an important pivot point. But of course, they do have a lot going on. You know, and it's an idea that has to have a lot of people come together and say, okay, well, we want to do this. Well, can we get it done? Right. So Troy, Dannon, and Matt Rule and plenty of the operation folks at Memorial Stadium would have to get together and figure out exactly what they're going to do. But, you know, I think kind of leaving it out there as, yes, it's not going to be the traditional format, and we don't know what it's going to be. I think that's caused more frustration than here's what we're pivoting to. You could say whether you're interested to go into it or not.
Yeah, I think and you brought up a good point. Will people come to see some 7-on-7? Like, is that a big? So you do have to package it the right way, you know. And I get it. And I do you know? I think there were reports. When was it? Last year? It's definitely last year, or maybe the year before, about the grass field.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I don't know if that's coming into works here soon. But I know Belichick. The point I'm trying to Belichick, UNC is converting to a grass field, and hopefully we'll see more of a shift there. And especially if you're paying players, I wonder if I think okay, I'm gonna divert real quick. Now I'm thinking about it. If players are getting paid, the players should have a union, right?
Yeah, maybe at some point.
Right?
I don't think they currently do.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, yeah, you're gonna. I understand the injury aspect to it, to where you don't want your guys to get hurt. I'm trying to think of last year if there was a particular injury, that stuck out to me. I don't believe.
Well, there's some big ones, and that's part of the reason maybe they're kind of thinking about this. Demetrius Bell was expected to be a big part of that team. He got hurt in the spring game, was out for the year, as well as the cornerback. I want to say Trey Bly, but that's not the name.
Bly Hill.
Who was expected to compete.
I got
for
the
starting
name this time.
Yeah, there you go. You got it this time. You know Trey Bly?
No, I don't.
That's an old cornerback from North Carolina. He used to play in the league for a while, and whenever I think of that name, I always get him
just
confused,
merge the two.
Yeah.
maybe they might know each other. No, but yeah, okay. So I didn't know that Demetrius Bell and I was about to say Dre Bly. Bly Hill. Yeah. Okay. So perfect. So you not perfect, but those two guys get hurt. So there's some real logic behind it, and it's just football though, and it's a spring game, and like that's just like the culture of you practice those 15 practices to get to spring game. Like throughout spring, it's 15 practices. You do Monday, Tuesday, Saturday, whatever it is for what's that, 5 weeks. The last week you go Tuesday, Thursday, and you play in the spring game, right? Like that's just what it always has been.
What you're working toward.
Yeah, and you're working towards something, and so if you're not working towards that, and usually spring game, the ones only get about two series. Twos will get probably double that, 4 or 5, 6, and then threes will take it over. After the quote unquote halftime and stuff like that. So I mean, it's not a bunch of opportunity, but it's still something where your family gets to see you play and stuff like that. So that's
was
tough.
it something, by the way, being in the locker room? I know they also have those scrimmages on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Did players get up more for those than the spring game, or would you say the spring game more? Because you'd think there'd be more playing time available maybe in those scrimmages, but I could be wrong.
I'll tell you what, them spring scrimmages have like certain feels to them because it's modeled after fall camp. So you kind of go base install, meaning like super bland stuff and the super basic stuff in the playbook. And you build your way up to, by spring game, you obviously don't use those plays in the spring game because everyone's scouting the spring game, opposite teams. But, by then you got a real good bulk of your playbook in, and you're developing some stuff and maybe some stuff you need to work on from the last season. So, I mean, it's super productive. But them spring scrimmages, I just remember we used to get a lot of injuries during those times. And I don't know what it was. It was throughout my whole college career. Spring, I saw more guys get hurt in spring scrimmages than fall camp scrimmages. And I don't know if it's because you only practice 2 times throughout the week, and then you scrimmage live reps and you tackle to the ground and you do all this stuff, all shenanigans. Like if you're going to tackle, I feel like you should tackle every day. I think that's the philosophy.
Not a big fan of thud tackling. Huh?
Yeah. Well, I think if you thud, if you tackle, and I think there is a time to stay up and all that good stuff, but I don't like just going in and just tackling on a scrimmage day, because first of all, there's two aspects of tackling. People only talk about the defensive player tackling, right? But also offensively, you get a feel for like falling with the tackle.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's necessary to go down. Like when you're getting pulled from, if you're stood up, right, and you feel someone, pulling at whatever, like sometimes you avoid the hit, right? And I'm never the one to say you avoid contact. I'm never going to be the one to say that, but there are times that you learn how to fall on a tackle. You learn, like when you get gator roll tackled, like you learn how to roll with it, not to twist your ankle. Like there's, if someone's hip dropping you kind of feel it a little bit more. Like you can prepare for it. The way you stiff, like you can feel it a little bit more. And so when you just do that randomly, every weekend, there's sometimes some injuries that happen.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a quick break. We've got one more segment of What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington coming up next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see a chance of showers throughout the day. Otherwise, cloudy skies and an afternoon high near 50. So that chance of showers continues over that low around 32. And tomorrow we'll see mostly sunny skies returning with a light breeze and an afternoon high near 51. I'm meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The Jerky Bowl has kicked off at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska. From now until halftime of the big game, every online order gets you entered into their incredible giveaway. The grand prize is a 30-bag jerky sample pack, $225 value, while second place is a 15-bag sample pack, while third place is a Be Mine jerky box. Perfect for Valentine's Day. Order now at smokinggunjerky.com, and if you enter promo code EARLY, you'll not only get 10% off your order, but also be entered twice for the drawing. It's the Jerky Bowl at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska. Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at doorsplusllc.com or give them a call at 402-590-5800.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100 and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese Beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. Back to What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
That's right. Happy Thursday to everybody out there. We do have one segment left of What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington right here on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm Jake Falkovin in our 1040 O Street studios here alongside the host of your show, Chancellor Brewington. Chance, what do we have brewing for our final segment today?
Man, tonight we got the Nebraska football players. They doing the dunk contest at the halftime. Who's Nebraska basketball playing?
Nebraska basketball is looking to break their 6-game losing streak against Illinois. I just saw some Illinois coaches, fans, maybe, I'm not really sure. So some people in Illinois gear just stopped by. But in any case, yeah, Illinois is a ranked team, one of the top teams in the Big Ten, so a good opportunity for Nebraska basketball.
Yeah, for sure. And maybe the football boys coming in there can add some energy to the building and get the people going. And hopefully by the time they do the dunk contest, Nebraska basketball is up, and it gives them just a little bit more juice, gives the crowd a little bit more involved. And I'm hoping to see some good dunks this season too, man. Come on.
Dunk contests are always so much fun. And now I do have the question. It's kind of funny that in the same time period, we're getting these, the announcement of the dunk contest. And at the same time, you're saying in the spring game, we want to avoid injuries. We don't want to do that. Dunk contest could have some injuries too. Do you think that there will be a rule, as we saw last year, Emmett Johnson fall to the ground as he was trying to dunk over Matt Rule? Maybe a rule, no object jumping over tonight, or do you think there will be an object and or person to be jumped over?
Yeah, I think there might be some objects.
You think so?
Yeah, I think the boys are gonna get competitive with it, and I mean now you let guys get like the feeling of it, and you let them get acclimated to it. I mean, especially you got some guys, some reoccurring names: Heinrich Harburg, Emmett Johnson, Jeremiah Charles, the winner of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's gonna be some objects, maybe some tricks in there, maybe some guest appearances. I don't know. Maybe we see 15 in there. Maybe he brings in, I don't know. Maybe we see a guest appearance. I don't know. It would be cool to see though.
I think somebody should do the football alley-oop. Leave the basketball behind. Just do the football alley-oop because
that'd be cool.
I think it's a little bit more challenging. A smaller ball, you're used to catching the football, right? But
yeah, that'd be cool. I think switch it up. I mean, through the I remember the my favorite dunk contests back in the day were the Dwight Howard ones and the Blake Griffin battles. The obviously Aaron Gordon's what's his name, Zach LaVine.
Yep.
I mean, they had some good ones. So I don't know if it's gonna be that exciting, but I think within the city, I mean, we're gonna get a show. I think because I mean, at the end of the day, there's some athletes out there. There's some athletes, and there was a little replay of Nebraska football put it out of the guys doing the dunk contest last year, and there were some special moments, and I think it's just I know the fans will love it, but particularly for the guys, like those are memories. Like to say you did a dunk contest like in college in front of thousands of people, that's once in a lifetime stuff. So I'm sure they'll enjoy it.
I'm hoping they keep this up. This is the second annual, obviously with the now Coach Rule. Hopefully we just continue to see this going. But I got to ask you, because 90% of the listening audience out there never was able to dunk. At what age were you able to dunk, and at what age were you able to? Because I think you've said it. You can put a little bit more of a. You can make it look a little bit prettier than just barely getting over the rim.
I'm trying to think. My first dunk was 12, 13. Yeah. So I mean, I feel like that's pretty. For like, I mean, I was like 6 foot, so I was probably 5'11", 6 foot.
Okay, yeah.
So I mean, I was pretty tall already. So it's not like these guys that are dunking at 5'10" and 5'8". You know, those. Much respect to those guys. But yeah, no, there's a art to dunking. I definitely wasn't a big dunker back in my day, but I mean, if I had a fast break or open lane, I was gonna try to punch it.
Could they alley-oop to you?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I caught a few back in my day. But
could you do it off the backboard? I'm sure. And,
yeah.
What's your best? Everybody's probably, if you could dunk, I assume you've thought of what you would do in a dunk contest. What would be your best dunk?
I don't know. I probably catching a oop and like clutching it reverse, maybe.
Oh, okay, yeah, that'd look nice.
That would be pretty nice. But I don't know. I don't know if I can get like a Vince Carter, clutch for real. I could get something though.
Yeah. So if we put you in the dunk contest tonight, I
don't know.
No,
I could go through. I could maybe make it to the final round. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
We'd like to hear that confidence there. Maybe. Well, that's less confident.
Yeah, maybe. I'm rethinking it. My knee's gonna hurt after this.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. You don't have to play football anymore.
Yeah. For real.
All right, that'll wrap it up for What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington. Hopefully, if that sounds exciting to you, head on down to Pinnacle Bank Arena tonight. Maybe see a slam dunk contest from the football team and a Nebraska basketball victory, hopefully, over a top 25 opponent. But that'll wrap it up for What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington for today. We'll be back tomorrow on the block, coming up next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Sports Show! The 56th Annual Boat Sport and Travel Show is bigger and better than ever. January 31st to February 2nd at the Sandhills Global Event Center in Lincoln. Don't miss it.
Sports Show!
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer